Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Happy new moon in Gemini. This is such a fantastic time with Jupiter having such a beneficial energy for all of us. This expansive, let's go do and seek and be curious about life. And it's really about like energy that just arrives that is so inspired to create, to connect. So if you've been wanting to have that trip, if you've been wanting to write that book, have you been wanting to beginning a new journal, some kind of wonderful endeavor, it really is a fantastic time for that. There's a lot of clearance, so there's a lot of bounce in our step because there's lightness due to releasing everything that doesn't belong to us. I love this rising up because it's really like we're coming out of almost like a coma state of just doing and saying habitual things to the point where we're like, that's not really how I feel anymore, and that's not really what I want to do anymore. I want to, bust out into that other twin that is expansive and really curious about things that I haven't achieved, seen, or experienced before. So really having like the chutzpah to just go do stuff. I know for myself, I've just been wanting to go to New York like every week, and I told my son we're going to hit the big four. We've already done the Met, and we did the Natural History Museum yesterday, and then we're going to do the Guggenheim and then the MoMA in the next couple weeks. It's just like one of those things that I've been wanting to do it, so I'm like, why in the world am I not doing that? It's so easy. We jump on a train, boom, we're there less than an hour. We're on the M bus, and then we're directly almost in front of these museums, and it's fantastic. So it'll be something like that, like, oh, I've always wanted to go to the Grand Canyon. Then you'll find yourself on a bus, plane, train. I want to go see my auntie I haven't seen in a while. I want to go see, the Pacific Northwest, those beautiful trees. Just inspired thought followed by fabulous action. And the self-care is a huge part of it. We know that when we have something to look forward to and we're excited about life, we behave a little differently, right? There's the spring in our step. We're excited about what this journey is going to mean and bring to us, and what we're like. I want to share this one thing that I think is amazing about my guides and how they always bring me these wonderful people every time I go to New York. I always end up sitting on the bus next to a wonderful old lady who just chats and chats about all these marvelous things. And interestingly enough, the last couple of times they've been Ukrainian. And my son stood up as soon as he saw this woman get on the bus, and she sat right next to me, and she clutched her heart when she sat down, and she goes, I have to tell you, I'm 85 years old, and that is the first time anybody has ever stood up on a New York City bus to let me sit down. What a good little boy. And she was just raving about him. She didn't even know he was my son. She was like, look how tall and gentlemanly he is, all these things. And it was so sweet. I said, that's my son. I go, he is a sweet little gentleman. And then I heard a little bit about her life story, and we got to just share these different adventures in New York, and she was so cheerful. She reminded me of the sweet little pod people in the Dark Crystal that dance around, and fizz kicking and everybody's jamming out. She was like one of those happy people with the little gray curly hair, cheerful and wonderful, and it was just amazing. And it was one of those things where that's important. My self-care often has to do with new social interactions and learning about myself, people, and new cities and things, because I need to get excited about new things. And I feel like that's what you're going to be doing for yourself, going, oh, I'm going to put a pin on that area of the map and I'm going there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, oftentimes a good inspiration for going somewhere is to get an outfit that goes with that, right? If you really want to start going back to the gym, you just get some cool, really comfortable gym outfit. If you've been wanting to go sailing or go on a boat, you get some wonderful sailing clothes. Biking, whatever it is, it's like you're setting yourself up for that event in all these little instances, and which brings us to inspiration. This is such an inspired time. I'm blown away by the ideas that people are having, these just, and they're sharing them. I have been in awe of some of like the TikTokers, the YouTubers, the people on IG some of their funny reels and posts. There's this one girl who did this post, and I laughed for like a half hour, and she's like, oh, when you and your friend who has no trauma are having snacks and making plans, and the girl, she's the one with no trauma, is holding this little locket. She's like, I found this little locket, I found it so lovely, and she's like nibbling on some little snacks and stuff, and she's like, I found it, and I didn't have any money, so they said they didn't have a credit card reader, so I just left my credit card with them. I said, oh, I'll be back tomorrow and pick it up. That's okay. She's like, oh, you know what? I think I'll stop eating some of these snacks because I need my body to tell me if it's full or not, because I don't need to overeat for any reason. Then I'll be uncomfortable. And she's just going on and like, it made me laugh so hard because it's like there's so many relatable, hilarious things on there, and people are just so smart. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with mental health issues, which I think is brilliant. People are just so fabulously crafty in how they use paper, how they use yarn, how they use like natural stones. Like there's this phenomena that I love, and I remember we used to do it when I was young, of doing beachwork art with shell stones and sea glass. That is mind-blowing, and I feel like you'll be reaching into that beautiful, inspired world where you're like, I'm going to participate in this, even if it's the simplest thing, growing a new plant. Our zinnias just started poking through the soil in the back, and I was ridiculously excited, like it was Christmas morning. Like, it's so funny how growing things can bring such a wondrous effect, like on us. Like, that wasn't there before. Now this beautiful living bright flower is going to be poking through the soil, things of that nature. Planting, creating, exploring. It's a beautiful time for this. So my beauties, that is what you were meant to hear. And also over on IG, I'm offering a new moon reading special. I find this is really such a clear and concise time for messages and breakthroughs. It's just amazing. So if you guys are interested, you can come over there and just DM me to book. And even if you write down one little thing for yourself that you'd really like to do, you just watch how quickly that comes to pass. You're showing yourself, this is important enough for me to write down, I want to do this, and then you just get in that groove and you do it, and it's really wonderful. A super inspired time. So my beauties, that is what you were meant to hear today. I hope you all have a great day. Love and light.